France has been gripped this month by the so-called Charlie Hebdo trial against the alleged accomplices of Islamists who attacked a French satirical newspaper and a kosher supermarket in 2015. It was the first of a string of terror attacks, along with the Islamist insurgency in the Middle East and elsewhere, that fed a broader zeroing in on radical Islam here. This recent history partly forms the backdrop of upcoming legislation on so-called separatisms. Details are sketchy, but reports suggest the bill will crack down on importing foreign imams and foreign financing of private schools and increase surveillance of suspect groups. The government says it aims to fight so-called enemies of France, of French values and way of life. Officials say those enemies also include groups like white supremacists. Alexandre Delval welcomes the legislation. He co-authored a book about the Muslim Brotherhood's alleged quest to infiltrate and conquer the West.
I think it's necessary, first of all, to ban any organization that jeopardize our Western, French, Republican and secular value. First of it, Muslim Brotherhood are the most fanatics among the radical Islam organization.
Government officials say the measure does not intend to target moderate Islam. A recent Adoxa poll shows most French surveyed approve of a separatism bill, but some Muslim leaders and groups worry it will unfairly single them out.
Donc la question de la violence n'appartient pas à une communauté.
Violence doesn't belong to a certain community. Terrorism doesn't belong to a single community. But it's not right to stigmatize a whole community because one member committed terrorist attacks.
Groups like Bashar's cite an uptick in anti-Muslim acts and intolerance in recent years.
Madame Hintermann, c'est une conversion du regard.
Some observers say politics is behind the separatism bill, claiming President Macron and his centrist On the Move party are tilting right ahead of the 2022 elections. Meanwhile, France's main opposition party, the far-right National Rally, says Macron is being too soft on extremism and is calling for an end to any system that encourages ethnic communities to function apart from the mainstream.
What we want is a fight without mercy against communitarianism and separatism. But that means treating the politics at the roots, rethinking migration policy, closing Salafist mosques, banning financing for suspect associations. There are a number of tools. So far, none has been used.
Lots of expectations and fears about what fighting separatism really means, especially for France's Muslim community. Lisa Bryant for VOA News, Paris.